Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel, or if you're new here, welcome to the channel. My name is Sammie, and this is another episode of Sewing with Sammie, where we find new patterns, see if we like them, see if we can do them, and just have fun along the way. Today's pattern is by Sewing Times, and it's a little girl's purse. I found it off of Pinterest. It is free, and it does come with a YouTube tutorial. Ayla's been down and a little bit under the weather this week, so I just wanted to cheer her up and make her something fun. And yeah, that's what we're doing today. Let's get into it.
So it's totally up to you what colors or patterns you want to use. You can use as many as you'd like. I'm going to go with 2. So for the body and the flap of the purse, I'm going to use the flower pattern that you're seeing here. And then we're also going to cut out some interfacing and some pink for the ruffles, the strap, and the liner. So once we're done that, we'll move over and start working on the clasps. Moving our fabric pieces to the side, we did iron in some interfacing to the main panel pieces. We're grabbing the lining of our flap panel and putting a little square of interfacing on there. Then we're going to fold it in half and mark the center, and then measure 2 to 2.5 centimeters from the bottom and mark it again, just so we make sure we have it in the right place. Then we'll unfold it and start attaching our clasp. Putting our flap to the side, we're grabbing one of our main panels for the body now. Doing the same thing, we're folding it in half, but this time we're marking 7 centimeters from the bottom. I believe it was like right in the middle or just above the middle. Same thing again, we're just marking it, and then we're going to poke holes and attach the clasps there. We didn't need to add any interfacing because we already added the interfacing, so no small square needed on this one. If you printed out the pattern or looked at it online, you would see that there was 2 long fabric pieces that we needed to cut, one at 80 centimeters and one at 75 centimeters. We're grabbing the 75 centimeter one and folding it in half, and then we're unfolding it and folding in the edges to the middle. So we're hiding all of those raw edges, tucking them in there and just pressing it down. Once we're done with the ironing, we are going to bring it over to our sewing machine and just do a top stitch to completely cover all those raw edges. Now that our strap is sewn and ready, we're marking, I believe it was 2 centimeters again, 2 centimeters from the edge of our body panel, the one without the clasp attached. And we're just pinning that strap there. We want to make sure that it lays flat and it's not tangled or twisted. So we're just going to pin that in place and stitch along that edge. You don't need to do a full stitch all the way across the panel, just over the straps to secure it. Moving on to the longer fabric piece that we cut, the 80 centimeter length one, we're folding it in half, and we don't need to worry about hiding those raw edges because it's going to be sandwiched in between the lining and the main panel piece for the flap. So we're just bunching it up with a needle and a thread to make it a little bit easier when we're attaching it. So we're grabbing the outside fabric piece, not the lining, and pinning it in place around the edge. Once we have it all pinned, we're going to bring it over to our sewing machine and straight stitch along that edge. Sandwiching those ruffles in between the lining and the outer layer, we're going to pin it in place and stitch along the 3 edges, leaving the top open so we can flip it right side out. Flipping it right side out, we're going to top stitch along those 3 edges and then attach it to the body where we sewed the strap and just do a stitch along that edge. Now what we're going to do is tuck that strap in between the flap and the outer layer, right sides together, and then put the other outer layer piece on top. Same with the lining, we're going to pin it in place right sides together, and we're stitching both the outer layer and the lining, all 3 edges, but on the lining we're leaving a little gap that we can flip the bag right side out afterwards. So outer layer, don't need to leave a gap, but for the lining, leave a small gap at the bottom. Flipping our purse right side out now, we're just going to tuck the strap underneath the flap of the bag so that we don't accidentally sew over top of it, and we're folding it in half and tucking it into the lining. We will unfold it, don't worry, we just have to get it in there first. So we're putting it in the lining, and then we're going to stitch along that edge, connecting the lining and the outer layers together. Once that's sewn, we'll flip the bag right side out and stitch over that open lip that we left in the lining. Our last and final step is to just top stitch that opening, and then we're done, and Ayla's got herself a new little purse.
Okay, you guys, that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed making it. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!